A city alive with sound. The heartbeat of jazz pulsed through its narrow streets, echoing from every tavern, parlor, and dance hall. But beneath that rhythm, there was something darker. Between 1918 and 1919, this city would be haunted by an unseen figure. A man who slipped through the night with an axe in his hand and death in his wake. They called him the Axeman of New Orleans. His crimes were brutal, his motives unknowable, and his legend still alive more than a century later. Tonight, we go back to those fog-filled streets, to the terror that gripped a city, and to the mystery that still refuses to die. In 1918, New Orleans was a city unlike any other in America. French, Italian, Creole, and Irish immigrants lived side by side, their languages, foods, and traditions mixing into a culture that was vibrant, loud, and full of contradictions. Jazz had just been born. Musicians filled smoky clubs with the wild, improvisational sound that would soon sweep the world. But just beyond the laughter and music lay poverty, superstition, and fear. Many of the city's working-class families, especially Italian immigrants, struggled to survive. They ran small grocery stores or lived in modest homes along the city's edges. These families would soon find themselves at the center of something horrific. The first known attack came in May of 1918, a quiet neighborhood, a small grocery run by Joseph and Catherine Maggio, an Italian-American couple well known in the community. On the morning of May 23rd, Joseph's brothers came to check on them. What they found would change New Orleans forever. Joseph and Catherine were found in their bed, their throats slashed with a razor, their heads crushed with an axe. The killer had entered through a panel chiseled out of the back door. He left behind the bloody weapon, an axe belonging to the Maggios themselves. Police had no leads, no witnesses, only horror. The newspapers called it the work of a maniac. The Maggios' murder shocked the city, but the Axeman wasn't done. 2 months later, in June of 1918, another couple was attacked in their bed. Louis Bessumer, a grocer, and his mistress, Harriet Lowe, were struck with an axe while they slept. Both survived the initial assault barely. Lowe would later die from her injuries, but not before giving police a series of strange, conflicting statements. At one point, she accused Bessumer himself. At another, she claimed to have seen a large, dark figure standing over her in the night. Police arrested several suspects, but none fit the evidence. And just like before, the weapon belonged to the victims. It was becoming clear, the Axeman wasn't a burglar. He wasn't killing for money. He was killing for something else.
Extra, we know about it.
By August, fear had spread like wildfire. Every sound in the dark, every creak of a floorboard, sent chills down spines. People began sleeping with weapons by their beds. Neighbors formed night patrols. And police? They were overwhelmed, chasing rumors, false confessions, and superstition. No one felt safe. Then, in early August, another couple, the Schneider family, was attacked. This time, the victim was pregnant. Miraculously, she survived, and her baby was born healthy. But the brutality of the attacks made one thing certain. The Axeman wasn't finished. New Orleans had seen violence before. But this was different. The Axeman wasn't just killing. He was sending a message. What that message was, no one yet understood. By late 1918, the Axeman's legend had taken root. Each attack seemed more brutal, more senseless than the last, and always the same pattern. A chiseled door, a sleeping couple, and an axe taken from the very home he destroyed. The newspapers called him a phantom. Some whispered he was a demon, a shadow that slipped between the cracks of reason and faith. On August 5th, 1918, Mrs. Anna Schneider, a young woman, 8 months pregnant, lay asleep when the Axeman broke in. She woke to see a towering figure standing over her. Before she could scream, the axe came down. She was struck repeatedly, her scalp split open, but somehow miraculously she survived. When police arrived, they found her covered in blood, dazed, whispering, "A dark man stood above me." Her husband returned home moments later, finding her still alive. Weeks later, she gave birth to a healthy baby girl. The city hailed it as a miracle, a sign that maybe the Axeman could be defied. Less than a week later, another grocer, Joseph Romano, was found bludgeoned in his home. His nieces, Pauline and Mary, were the first to hear his cries. They ran to his room and caught a glimpse of the killer, a tall man wearing a dark suit and a slouched hat, fleeing into the night. This was the first time anyone had clearly seen him. Pauline Romano later told police. He was large, dark-skinned, with a hat pulled low. He moved fast, faster than I thought possible. The city erupted in panic. Every tall man with a hat became a suspect. Police flooded the streets. But the Axeman vanished, leaving behind only blood and confusion.
Extra, we don't let it.
By autumn of 1918, the Axeman had become a household name. Some people claimed to have seen him slipping through alleys. Others heard him tapping on windows. Dogs barked at shadows. Neighbors slept in shifts. Families hung crucifixes and kept their doors barricaded with furniture. Fear was spreading faster than the truth. Police Commissioner Arthur Reynolds publicly declared, "The killer is human. He will be caught." But behind closed doors, even detectives admitted, they had no idea who they were looking for. Every attack brought chaos. Every lead, another dead end. Then, in March of 1919, New Orleans received something no one expected. A letter. It was delivered to the Times-Picayune newspaper. The writer claimed to be the Axeman himself, and what he said chilled the entire city. And it read,
Hell, March 13th, 1919. Esteemed mortal, they have never caught me, and they never will. I am no human being, but a spirit and a demon from the hottest hell. I am what you Orleanians and your foolish police call the Axeman. Now, to be exact, at 12:15 earthly time, on next Tuesday night, I shall pass over New Orleans. I will make myself known by taking the life of one who does not jazz it out that night. Yes, every house in which a jazz band is playing will be spared. One thing is certain, those who do not jazz it out will get the axe. It was signed simply, the Axeman.
The said chilled the entire city. That Tuesday night, March 19th, 1919, something extraordinary happened. Every jazz club, every restaurant, every home with a phonograph played jazz. From the French Quarter to the riverfront, the city pulsed with rhythm. People who had lived in fear for months suddenly danced, sang, and prayed through music. And true to his word, the Axeman did not strike. No murders, no blood, only jazz. That night became legend, a bizarre pact between fear and faith. But the city's reprieve wouldn't last. Soon, the killings would begin again, more vicious than ever. The Axeman had proven one thing. He controlled New Orleans through terror. Now, with the police chasing ghosts and the city trapped in hysteria, he was ready to strike again.